everybody, it's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 601. We are that podcast that looks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
And I'm Ari Rockefeller.
Mako-chan is taking the night off. She's taking care of little Damien. He's feeling a little lethargic, so she's gonna go spend time with him. She will be back next week, and she'll let us know how he's doing then. So you know how cat parents are. So you gotta respect that. If not, you shouldn't be paying attention to this show.
Let's just hope nothing's wrong with the cat.
Oh, he's fine. Damien's got that. He's got spark. He'll be all right. So, Ari, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
Just tired. Well, I'll tell you about what's happening. What happened with me this past week, but let's just say I'll be glad to be going to work tomorrow.
I legit totally get it. Work has been like lately, like yesterday today. I just felt like as if you ever seen that meme of going to work and the person's all kind of happy and excited, and person leaving work, he's just slowly walking out lethargically, but him covered in flames and fire, and it's like it's normal.
Or this is fine, or something like
Something
that.
like that, it's like coming into your shift, leaving your shift. That's how it felt lately. It's like I'm kind of engulfed in these flames a bit, but everything's fine. It'll get resolved one way or another. Anywho, but you're starting early on those commercials. Sorry, folks. Remember, if you are a subscriber to the channel, you will not have to deal with these commercials. Anywho, let's get the ball rolling tonight. We are live tonight, week of August 15th, 2023, right here on Twitch TV. You'll always find us here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, you can find us at Twitch TV/AnimeJam. Let's see what else we have here. Always find us as part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. Check them out at vognetwork.com. And they're also here on Twitch as well. You can find them at Twitch TV/vognetwork. And we also have a Discord. You can always find us at vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's part of the Voice of Geeks Network has their own channel. So hang out. Cool, it's still open, so enjoy it while you. And now we got that out the way. We're going to kick things off with how was your week? How was your day? Ari.
Well, thankfully I got paid this week with all my overtime coming in from the previous weeks. So that's going to be a big boon for me this coming week.
That's good.
The next coming weeks, because I was out all last week because of my foot. Because the pain in my foot had caused me to go on short-term disability at work. So that just means I had to just sit at home and do nothing until I got cleared to go back to the doctors. And you have to be out a certain amount of days before the disability actually kicks in and you get paid for it.
Yeah.
So so tomorrow I go back to work, and I'm happy to be there because there have been days when I just haven't left my apartment at all. I didn't feel like doing anything or just, interacting with anybody. So that's how that happened. And the pain cleared up, gradually as the week went on. So, it wasn't that bad. The biggest thing is I had to drive over an hour up to my company's headquarters.
Right.
And that's an hour away. Because I had to see their medical staff, and that was just a very big pain.
I totally get
that. And yeah, that's how things have been going for me.
So my weekend day has been same old same. Went out, hung out with some friends over the week, and all that good.
Yeah, you had a much better weekend than I did.
But you know what? The weekend you had is something that I kind of wish I could do a little bit more often. Like, I'm actually at that point where I should be sitting at home, relaxing, not doing anything, except maybe watching anime and playing video games. What am I doing on the weekends? I'm actually going somewhere, and sometimes I'm just like, it's not going to be all that, but I might as well go just for morbid curiosity type set.
Hmm.
It's not that bad in the long run. So that's basically what I did. Because of these back to back weekends, as soon as I get out of work tomorrow, I gotta go straight to the laundromat, or else I won't have any underclothes for this weekend.
Yeah, you can't have that.
Yeah, I just hate that you just going out like right behind each other, and you realize, yeah, I need to take today to do laundry. Right, now we're gonna go ahead and get into some housekeeping here. See, episodes of Anime Jam Session are available on our podcast VODs at youtube.com/anime session. Click on playlist and you see podcast VODs. All current episodes of this year are available here. You also find episodes from last year and 20. Definitely check them out. Episodes go up Thursdays at 12 p.m. in the afternoon. And don't forget, the second half of our anime convention tour continues on. We'll be heading into Philadelphia this weekend. ShikariCon at the Doubletree Hilton in West Philadelphia, which is this weekend, August 19th to the 20th. It's a Saturday, Sunday con. So come through, hang out, and have a good time. I know they had a really good turnout last year, and I heard there was nothing but good things happening. So I definitely check it out. We're going to get into some Geek Roundtable. This is a part of the show where we talk more about the geekier aspects of our life, like what we've been up to that week. And did not realize until today that I had Geek Roundtable misspelled for God knows how long.
Oops.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, it's fine, till Grammarly pointed it out. I was like, that, or I must have typed something in and it didn't catch, whatever. Fact of the matter is, it's fixed now. So, Ari, how's your Geek Roundtable? What have you been up to?
Uh, well, I finished this past week, and I want to show it off to y'all.
That is
The
nice.
the Lego typewriter that I built. Like this one little part of the foundation doesn't want to stay in, but it's going to be on the shelf most of the time, so it won't matter that much. And obviously, it doesn't actually type anything, but all the gears and the stuff in the back makes it kind of clunky. But you can still just it kind of sort of works like a typewriter. It has the ribbon and everything.
Is that an actual ribbon?
It's just a piece. It's just a strip of fabric.
Oh, okay. Okay. It reminds me of the typewriters I used to use. And I always liked the way they click and I always liked that.
I would never be able to use one of them because I type way too fast and like the keys would get stuck when they try to hit the same thing at the same time.
Mm-hmm. That's why they have like the newer typewriters where it's like a fist, like a ball, and all the letters on it. It just spins back and forth as you type.
Also, it's a non quote unquote standard key layout.
That is very non-standard.
It's the Dvorak layout,
Okay.
where it puts all the most or it puts the has the home row with all the most used keys.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be faster to type on pound for pound, but I can never find one of them like standard anywhere, and I am not going to try and retrain myself to work with one of them because I there'll be too much muscle memory to screw with.
And then you're like me, where I could probably flip back and forth because I still look down at my keys as I type, and sometimes I will get into the rhythm of typing and realize what I'm doing, and then I'll lose my way.
Honestly, I do it like stream of consciousness half the time when I'm typing.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like when I realize I'm in that stream, it's just, oh, so.
All right, so what about you? What do you got?
All right. So, like I said, I have a backlog of figurines, and what I'm going to talk about. But when it comes to anime, I am caught up with Masamune Kun's Revenge R. I'm caught up with Spy Classroom. I started Atelier Ryza, and I will have to say, yeah, the animators knew exactly what they were doing. And if you don't understand what I mean, you'll understand greatly when you watched the opening the opening animation. You'll understand that. I was looking for something else to also watch because I'm kind of at the point where I don't try to watch 5 or 6 titles, 2 or 3 titles at a time, and that's it. And then once that's done, I'll look at my list and see what's already available, and I'll just start marathoning those. Because my goal is to at least watch maybe 1 or 2 new series every season per se, and then eventually be fully caught up one way or if you, I will say this: if you like Spy Family, definitely check out Spy Classroom. It's on High Dive. Definitely check that out. So, as I've said in previous times, I've always found myself late to the game when it comes to figurines. Because I realize some of the ones that I want are no longer available, and if they are very expensive, brand new, or they're almost quite as expensive on the secondhand market. Sometimes I might have to get lucky by knowing someone in Japan to get something. Ergo, one of my Yohane figurines that I. But as time
And the prospect of buying a figurine used,
I actually have one used. It's Oscar Langley in her school uniform. I refuse to run it through a black light for reasons.
well, you'll probably have to burn down the entire apartment if you run the blacklight over it and it comes out unsatisfactory.
Look, if that is the case, I am not burning down my place. I am simply going to put it in the trash, and I'll put it on my list of shit to buy when I go to Japan. Or if I'm lucky, I'll find it dirt cheap on Amazon or eBay, brand spanking new. So, anywho, like there are some series I go looking for. Like, I kind of want a Rias figurine from High School DxD, and most figurines nowadays, big titties, big ass, it's what sells, and I get that. But for me, it's not really my thing. If she's wearing a school uniform, that's fine. I don't need anything else. Wearing bunny outfit with fishnets, that's fine. Is it a casual outfit from the anime? Sure. If she half naked and looking at you, nah, I don't want that. Again, that is not me. That's not what I'm looking for. Especially when some of the characters that are drawn and look that way are under 18. Yeah, no, Alpha. Yeah, exactly. So, way back when, I had started watching a series called Data Live. And I first started watching it through fan subs, and eventually I started watching it on Funimation and Crunchyroll. I marathoned all 4 seasons. And I do have a figurine from that series. It's back here somewhere. Where I can see it's somewhere. I don't remember. Anywho, for those of you who are listening, I just spent like the last 30-45 seconds like looking behind me trying to see the name on the figurine box. I thought that was the main character, but it's not. That's the most demented character in the series. So if you know who I'm talking about, go. So the figure I wanted was a figure of Toka Yatogami, the main character, and she has different ones. And my thing is, I want something that's awesome, respectable, and nice. So I found one of her in her battle armor. I found it on Amazon JP. I think I paid like 80 to 90 with shipping, which is not bad. I couldn't find it through normal Amazon because it was way more expensive. Half of them are bootlegs. If you can't pronounce the first name in front of the item and it has too many consonants, that's a bootleg. So
Either that or it's just a word salad of hey, the search bar will bring this up if I put this in.
So
I've seen more than my share of those.
So I ordered the figure. And one thing about when you order from Japan, sometimes you get a rough estimate when it's being delivered. You're not able to fully track it like on Amazon US. So while I was gone this weekend, my package was delivered. Cool. What I didn't realize was while it was raining here, while we were out Saturday, it was raining. Now, I may have mentioned this once or twice, but when you come into my apartment, there's a set of stairs, outside stairs, and above it is a plexiglass roof. That's perfect. It protects from the elements like rain. So if you were to leave a package out at the stairs, very minimal damage. But that plexiglass is basically gone because there was a basketball hoop that was right by my roof, and when the kids would play basketball and miss, it would hit the plexiglass.
It would hit your package.
No, it would hit the plexiglass.
Oh.
Eventually, it's the point where it's just broke and most of it is gone. So there is a possibility I could actually get snowed into my own apartment.
That is not fun.
That happened last year. The door and thing around is not sealed, so the snow can come in, but not a lot. If it was a real issue where I couldn't open the front door, I can actually go through my other door over here and go out that way. With the ceiling, with that roof there, all that snow will sit on top, and it'd be easy for me to go up to the stairs and kind of shovel my way out. So I come home and I see the box. It is a mess. I bring the box inside, and I didn't realize I saw the Amazon JP logo on it. I was like, open it up. It was that wet, I didn't even need scissors. The box basically pulled itself apart.
That's not good.
Yeah. Inside was like shipping paper that you put in like the packet to make sure that the figurine doesn't bounce all around. That was in there. That was like mess. Then I see the actual package, actual figurine. There was bubble wrap around it. Gently take that off, because I had no idea how far the damage was. I would not be happy if it was really damaged. After the bubble wrap was a large plastic envelope, large plastic bag, taped around the box. Like it's sealed, and I'm looking at it. I see no water on the inside or nothing. Nothing warped. I take the scissors and I cut around it, and I pull the wrapping, the plastic bag off. Suffice to say, very minimal damage to the box. Toka Yatogami is in fact in.
That's very good that it didn't get this damaged.
Oh. Actually, I don't even think it came in power. I think it was just the box wrapping inside, and it's sealed in the plastic bag. I think that's all that was there. Because there have been times I have ordered figurines, and there are some Japanese sellers who sell on Amazon US, and you still get free shipping. Already sealed. And it comes in, and it's in pristine condition. There's some figurines I order from American hobby shops and so forth. The box is a little dent and this and that. But I don't think they understand there are people who buy these things who want them more for a collector's aspect than to display them. And even if they want to display them, they want to make sure that the boxes that they come in was pristine. I think I ordered a Shikadai Pop, and because of the weather, the box was wrecked, and the Funko Pop box itself was also. Thankfully, I did not have to send it back because I threw it right in the trash. But now we got that out the way, we are going to get into tonight's show, and the first thing we'll talk about is how Pokemon pros that were eliminated from the 2023 World Championships.
All right.
We'll tell
They
you
found
how
out.
it happened.
I'm sorry.
And I will tell you why they were eliminated.
You want me to take this one?
Yeah, kick it off, my friend.
Yeah, they weren't screwing around. A number of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Pro players have taken to social media and announced that they've been eliminated from tournament play due to the use of hacked Pokemon. While this might seem like a cut and dry case for elimination, some players think Pokemon Company is being a little too harsh. Anyone playing Scarlet Violet is supposed to obtain their Pokemon roster through legitimate play or trades, with some players who use hacking tools that can create the lineup they want. The Pokemon they add to the roster have legit stats and aren't using tricks to get impossible abilities, but they weren't obtained through normal gameplay methods. Pokemon Company sees these Pokemon as illegitimate, so the players have been removed from the tournament. While the fans can argue all they want, I think we can all agree it's not surprising to see Pokemon Company taking things as seriously. At the very least, budding players know that their rosters need to be fleshed out with legitimate captures and trades going forward. Yeah, I don't see the problem either. Like, okay, I don't have to.
Are you for real?
Huh?
You are okay? Are you saying you're okay with them playing with hacked data? Or are you okay with the fact that
No. I'm okay with them just, getting disqualified for using hacked Pokemon.
Okay. See,
because like, if they think like they're gonna like, let me try and parse my words here.
Mhm.
If they think that things like this are gonna be, they want to try and get little things like this okay, so it's be easier to get away with bigger violations later on down the road. I mean, even if they try to create Pokemon that are pretty much just based on, I don't know, friggin' memes or something, or just something stupidly overpowered just for the sake of being stupidly overpowered. And yeah, they're crying poor because they got caught.
Yeah, training tools is hacking. That's like going to a fighting game tournament and your controller and your joystick is modded where you can do one button special effect super attacks and one button supers. It's no different. Part of me wants to respond to these people who are upset and be like, cry more next time, don't be a cheater. There's someone that says, I got disqualified from Worlds last round on 4-2. I cannot stop crying. So many effort put in this season for literally nothing. Canceling the open. You mean to tell me you're crying because you got DQ'd for cheating? I'm sorry. And it's sort of like playing Pokemon Go and you're driving around at normal speeds instead of slow speeds. I do understand there are people who play Pokemon Go in a car, but in order to properly collect Pokemon in Pokemon Go, you gotta be driving at a specific speed. You can't be just going warp factor 12 down 95, collecting them as you go. It doesn't work that way.
Honestly, in my experience, if you going over like 30, it'll say like you're going too fast. Like you gotta click, I'm a passenger.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying, compared to somebody who spends their time playing Pokemon, raising the stats of their characters, compared to somebody who is just connecting their Switch or their 3DS or loading their hacked game save file and they're just sweating as their brain is throbbing as they're trying to figure out the hex code. No. You fucked around, you found out.
And like, motherfucker, if you need to cheat to beat me, you got no business being here.
That
Or,
remi-
or be like, yeah, you need to cheat to beat me. I don't need to cheat to beat you.
I, I know it's just sad. I mean, I just think it's just sad. People that are hacking. It's one thing if you're playing hacked Pokemons between your friends. That's one thing. It's a we've all played hacked games. We've played hacked games with each other and shit like that for fun.
Or ROM hacks of like fan made content and whatnot.
Right. But this is just ridiculous. It's just stop crying, suck it up, and learn how to play Pokemon. Simple as that. Now,
Ugh.
our
Ugh.
next story is about.
My apologies.
Yeah, you good, you good. It's about a cosplayer who was quote unquote banned from her flight due to the outfit that she is wearing. Now, I will tell you this. Years ago, I got a pass to fly to visit friends in Sacramento. I forget what the proper name is, but I had a friend who worked for the airlines and was able to get a free pass through them. One, I was traveling and I was wearing shorts, and they told me, you can't wear shorts because you're going on a gift ticket. This, got to be dressed a little bit more respectable. Now, if I had purchased the ticket, they would not have said anything. And I have read stories of like people that I know when they were young children, they were more or less near dressed their Sunday best in order to get on a plane and especially if you are related to somebody it's called setting an example.
Or if you had the parents who were just extraordinarily strict or just saw their kids as their own little dollies for them to dress up as however they like.
Yeah, I know a couple of girls who had to go through that. But some people were complaining about how unfair that was. But they explained the story behind which made sense. So here's the thing. There is this cosplayer by the name of Kine-chan or Kine-chan, Kine-Chan. Is a 21-year-old cosplayer, Brazilian model, influencer, and an OnlyFans. Now, he
No
was
judgment on that or anything. Just
no.
that's are the facts.
Here's the thing. I don't care if you're a model, an OnlyFans creator, or a cosplayer. When you say you're an influencer, that's when I give you the stink eye because you make other people who fall within there trying to do what they got to do. You make them look bad because you want free shit. If you want free shit, work hard and let the free shit come to you. Anywho, cosplayer was dressed up as Rebecca from Cyberpunk Edgerunners. By the way, is best girl. And she was not allowed to get on the plane because of how skimpy the outfit is. If you're not sure, go ahead and Google image search Rebecca Cyberpunk Edgerunners. You'll completely understand. And no, she did not have the jacket on as well. According to this cosplayer, she said that she tried to board at Navigante's airport dressed as Rebecca for an event. I already knew that I could be late, so I was dressed so as not to waste time and go straight to my room. But I was told to go home and change clothes because the one I was wearing was not appropriate. I explained that I was going to an event. Anyway, Rebecca barred. She claims that she was stopped by airport security and turned away from boarding the plane as they asked her to cover up. Expecting her fans to support her, many of them basically said that she had herself to blame for missing the flight. One person wrote, Kine, I love you, but for the love of God, you could have put on an easy pull-up outfit like a falling dress or even a button-down blouse. Another follower added, they were right. You could have put clothes on. They were sure not going to let you board. Someone else said that it didn't hurt to wear a dressing gown on top. A fourth person said, man, I work shows and my schedule in between shows are pretty short. I'm going with my costume and on the top, and I'll put a robe on and overalls. Here is a tip for you. Well, her
Doesn't seem like that big of a problem to solve.
yeah. While her fans will have to wait for an update on her adventures to find out if she ever made it to the event. One passenger who certainly won't be going anywhere is Kieran Harris, who was handed a 10-year no-fly ban because of a case of mistaken identity. The university graduate was looking forward to flying to Alicante, Spain earlier this year, but was left shocked when the airline sent over email the day before the flight stating that they were banned from boarding the flight to Liverpool for connecting flights. The email claimed that due to previous disruptive behavior, 10-year no-fly sanction until 2031. Auditor claims that
That's harsh.
Yeah. The person claims that they confused him with a lad who was sentenced to 12 weeks in prison for behaving aggressively and abusively while drunk on an EasyJet flight in 2021. Claims that the abusive flyer shares the same full name and birthday with him. It was the first time this person has been mistaken for the convicted criminal, and claims that the Metropolitan Police stormed his house and bulletproof vests last year after misidentifying him as the wrong Kieran Harris. The graduate claims that he name change if the mix was frustrated by the experience with EasyJet. Me, that or I'd sue. Now, here's the thing. I've known cosplayers who show up to the con in costume. There are cosplayers who have changed while quote unquote driving. And by that I mean they'll pull into the quickest rope pit stop, change, and go. I have known people who have changed trains, buses. Never seen anyone change while flying. Those little aisles are pretty small, and so are their bathrooms. So I would not recommend doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would agree with her fans. But with what Rebecca wears, she just thrown on a sundress, and that was it. Could have done that. I understand running late. You could have thrown on a sundress and gone. Nobody would have said anything about you wearing the wig, because we're at the point where you can wear wigs, have multicolored. Nobody's going to bat an eye. Nobody. I wouldn't say she fucked around and found out, but it was a learning lesson. Because I don't think she realized that she. And I understand being late, but I just hope for future references she knows better.
Yeah.
Okay. Now our next story, is the one thing that you really hate to hear about. One of your favorite streaming services with prices is going up and eventually locking down password sharing.
Yeah, Disney Plus plans to restrict password sharing in 2024, and both that and Hulu raises prices of ad-free tiers. Disney CEO Bob Iger announced during the company's earnings call on Wednesday that Disney plans to restrict password sharing for accounts on its Disney Plus service sometime next year. Iger added that the company is currently exploring the best options for paying subscribers to share accounts with their friends and family, and that Disney plans to update Disney Plus subscriber agreements later this year regarding sharing pass policies. Disney also announced that it's raising the price of its ad-free tier from $10.99 to US to $13.99 per month, while the ad-free on Hulu will go from $14.99 to $17.99. There will be a bundle for ad-free Disney Plus and Hulu bundled together for $19.99 a month starting on September 6th. The new pricing scheme will take effect on October 12th. The prices of ad-supported tiers will remain unchanged. Netflix recently brought its new password sharing policy to multiple other markets, including the US. Netflix launched its new policy in test markets Chile, Costa Rica, and Peru on February 5th. The company then extended its new password sharing policy to Canada, New Zealand, Spain, and Portugal. They said in each of those countries there was immediate cancel reaction, but it was eventually eclipsed by former sharers creating new accounts or paying more to formally add new users to the existing accounts. And you're about to find out why when you ask some people, are you a yo ho ho or an pirate? I'm not paying $20 a month for a streaming service kind of pirate.
All right, so let me touch on that real quick. Now, I once seen a meme where it's like it's the whole Anakin and Obi-Wan. It was like
Yeah, you were the chosen
chosen
one.
one.
You're blah 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 blah. We all know the scene.
Yeah, it was. It's like that, but he's screaming at all of the subscription services.
I hate you.
Here's something you
Yeah, I
have,
know what you're talking about.
yeah, here's something you have to understand. You are not obligated or obliged to subscribe to a streaming service. You're also, again, not obliged or obligated to get cable TV or digital TV service. You are not obligated. Yes, I do understand the reasons behind it to watch your favorite shows, your favorite teams, and some great movies. I get that. But what they should do when it comes to sharing accounts, I would do it this way. Let's say I would give Ari my access to my streaming. Goes to log in. Pops up saying, "We have found your account, your profile connected to this account. Is this correct?" Yada yada yada. Done. And then I should get a notification either through text, email, or the app on my phone saying this person has logged in. Is this the correct person? Boom, whatever. Now, here's the thing. I still believe pay for sharing accounts. What I don't believe is paying out the ass for it. For example, if I'm paying for the streaming service for $14.90 and it comes up and says this person is on your profile, do you want to allow them to use your account to watch programming? Yes. You will be billed an additional $1.99. I'm just saying I have no problems with $2. Now, let's say you have multiple. And it pops up that Mako is logging in. Right? $1.99, that's fine, whatever. Let's say after that, Barry logs in. App reminds me that you have 3 other people on your profile that are using your service. Would you like to upgrade to the family plan, which would be you think about it, that's basically $5 a month per person. You're like, that's it. Let's say you happen to move. There is an option within the app that says moving, deactivate, because everything is tied through IP addresses. Let's say you move and you settle in and you log in and you're like, you turn off the move option. It knows you're in a new location and you don't get double billed. That's just me. Now, granted, what we tend to do is trade accounts back and forth. If we were all sharing my streaming services account, I'd like it if you all paid like $5 a month to me. Let's say Ari is sharing with me sports streaming account. I don't expect to collect $5 from him. He doesn't expect me to collect $5 from him. Because we're sharing each other's accounts. It's only now, one of the reasons why this is expensive because streaming is expensive. Streaming takes up a lot.
It wasn't supposed to be.
True. But when you know why? They didn't realize how much data you can burn from streaming. Look at YouTube. They're barely making a profit every year. Barely. Which I do understand.
Ari, trying to do the world's smallest violin for
Ari,
YouTube.
I get you. I get you. I totally get you. But from somebody who's in tech and sees how much that they spend, it's like If you're paying $25 a month for YouTube, understand that at least 15 of that just goes for the infrastructure alone. 10,
Bun006 says it's our fault for showing these companies how much we're pay.
yeah,
Yeah, we can't do like the contractor thing and just put in the lowest bid for the service that we want to use, you know?
right, right. And that $10 pays employees. That's what it basically boils down. And I also want to say, because of the writer's strike and the SAG-AFTRA strike, this is not the time to put on the pirate hat. Neil Gaiman has already said, if you want to support your favorite writers and your favorite actors, continue to watch the programs and shows and movies and sports events that they work on and that they produce. Because if you don't, the studio sees the numbers, they're like, well, nobody's watching this, so why should we have y'all here creating these shows? We will put together an AI team that'll handle all of that. We could shit out a show for $1,000. If we break even, that's good. If we make a profit, that's better. That's what it boils down to.
I've seen AI generated, commercials.
And you can tell by the voices it's not them.
They've been friggin' hideous.
Look, you haven't. Well, I was in a group chat and one of my friends played the AI voice covered like country version of Juvenile's Back That Ass Up.
I will say this one streamer that I watched, the Russian Badger, which I've talked about once or twice, like one of his buddies, also a streamer called Skulker, he used AI to clone other voices in his little company, his squad. But the first time he debuted the latest AI clone that he debuted, it glitched out hideously, and it was just super uncanny and uncomfortable, and people were just, it was like you gotta stop it. Like about if you do a search for the phrase hamster chief lobsters the fort bite, and about the 2/3 or the 3/4 of the way through, you'll see the debut and how horribly wrong everything goes. It would be hilarious if it wasn't so scary. But one of the reactions to it, one of his buddies had was, "The bot is having a stroke."
Oh Jesus! Oh jeez.
Yeah, imagine making an AI of me, and like the first thing it does is it gains sentience, and the second thing it does is realize who created it and why it was created, and it just immediately it has an aneurysm and dies. And I would just be like, yeah, that sounds about right.
AI should be used to help guide, not create. If I could, I would write an AI bot to pull articles for us to discuss, so that Mako doesn't have to do it. Even though she has it down to a science, if I can have a bot to do that, she'll do other things. If I could, I wouldn't use AI on editing because I know how I edit and I wouldn't want to change. If I was an artist and I was stuck on drawing, I would push it through AI and ask it for different results. And I would look for it as an inspiration to how I should get the drawing going. Again, AI should be used to guide, not to.
A teaching tool at best,
Yes.
and not just. This is the opposite. Like AI is like what's happening with AI now. This is the opposite of what we expected. The future to be like, where all the jobs will be automated and we could focus on our hobbies, our passion projects and whatnot. But no, it wants to automate all the art, music, etc., and make us worry more and make us focus on working to death.
Now, as
Ugh.
to what Bonzo06 says, he says it's our fault for showing these companies how much we will pay. The kick
That's what I
will
was talking about earlier.
the kick will be that AI content will not lower the price or the cost of digital content. In fact, I say it would splinter the market more because at that point anybody can grab their own AI kit and just go to work and you'll see some terrible stuff. It's like watching like we actually talked about this on the show years back about a Japanese studio doing hentai through Flash with like Adobe Flash when Flash was still a thing. Flash animation hentai, able to churn it out just like that, and that's like, yeesh. Anywho,
That's not too bad. It's just another medium to use, like to animate with. I mean, granted, you can definitely tell if something is flash animated, just as you can definitely tell if something is AI created.
but still,
Oh, also from what I've read about it, AI work, like these AI trainers or whatever they are, they're starting to, you know, overly reference other AI related stuff. So it's pretty much turning into the AI equivalent of inbreeding,
oh jeez.
which is especially fun to point and laugh at because it's fucking inbreeding. First thing you think of when you think about inbreeding is either deep south, fucking cousins, or ancient European royal families and whatnot.
All right, enough about that.
Yeah,
See the
that,
Berry
that was
said,
that was a kind of a tangent I didn't mean to
yeah,
go
yeah,
on,
yeah.
but
Now, see the Berry says, I'm looking forward to when they need to band together and VRV makes a triumphant return. Oh, that'll never happen. Not with Sony and doing all of this. That'll never happen. That will never happen. The closest to that is getting a bundled deal on Disney and Hulu because it's by Disney. So anyhow, now we're going to go ahead and talk about Detective Pikachu. Looks like there's new information out, and there is a new trailer that's also available. I think that's pretty freaking.
mm-hmm.
On the Pokemon live stream last week revealed that a new trailer is out for Detective Pikachu Returns, a game for the Switch, and is part of the Detective Pikachu spin-off franchise. Nintendo describes the game as unravel a series of mysteries across Rhyme City with a tough-talking, coffee-loving Pikachu who calls himself a great detective.
Coffee loving.
Got you.
Yeah, just watch them make a coffee related, perk or just like a coffee themed Pikachu in the actual games.
I'm about that. This Pikachu may have a self assured attitude and talk like a middle aged man, but he somehow manages to keep his lovable charm. Together with his partner Tim Goodman, the great detective duo cracks several cases with the help of many Pokemon and the people who live in Rhyme City. The game will launch on October 6th. The first Detective Pikachu game came out for the 3DS in Japan. It came out here in the States in 2018. The game inspired the live-action movie Pokemon Detective Pikachu in 2019, and there will be a sequel coming down the pipe very as long.
It should also
But
be noted that Rhyme is spelled Ryme.
oh right,
I
right,
just
right.
thought that I just thought that was weird because it's not rhyme as in two words sounding alike, and it's not rhyme as in really like a really specific formation of ice when it gets cold out.
Didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, in that case it's spelled Rime. Yeah, rhyme. Noun. Frost formed on cold objects by the rapid freezing of water vapor in cloud or fog.
And I see the where he says, at least it's not Leanne Rhymes City.
Oh boy.
You know what? You know what, man?
shall we move on? Of course. How could I forget about that?
Yes. It was that or the buzzer. And I was not in the mood for the buzzer. All right, moving right along. Ari, tell us what's up with Aniplex Online Fest.
Aniplex Online Fest. Sorry, Aniplex. If you remember the title cards.
A subsidiary of Sony Productions.
Returns on September 9th. Aniplex of America announced on August 10th that Aniplex Online Fest, a large-scale annual online festival, will return for a fourth year with an in-person and free YouTube live streaming event on September 9th, 2023, Pacific Daylight Time. The event, held since 2020, offers the latest information on Aniplex's anime works and live performances by Anisong artists. An event visual, newly drawn by Haruka Iizuka, the character designer for Horimiya, was revealed, and an English version promotional video now narrated by Alex Lee, Mash Burndead and Mash Lee Magic and Muscles, is now streaming on YouTube. As with last year, Aniplex Online Fest 2023 will showcase over 20 Aniplex shows, including Rascal Does Not Dream series,
I can't wait for that one.
Whose new feature film will be released on December 1st in Japan, along with appearances from numerous special guests. The event will also feature live music performances by Kanaboon, featuring Yuho Kitazawa, Okazaki Taiku, Philosophy No Dance, and Shoko Nakagawa.
Nice.
So yeah, we will post the link in the stream chat. I said we will post the link in the stream. God damn it.
Well, I will say this. Given the list of what's coming out, I am looking forward to 16-bit Sensation Another Layer because I like the 16-bit animation style that the anime has. Hypnosis Mike Division Rap Battle Rhyme Anima Plus.
Rap Battle.
Yeah, it's good. I know there's some people I know who have an issue with it, but it is what it is. Madoka, maybe. I say maybe because I've kind of sort of fallen out of Madoka, and I know there was a new series that came out a few years back. I think I watched 2 episodes and just got sidetracked. Rascal Does Not Dream series, I'm definitely looking forward to. I'm not saying I'm looking forward to Rurouni Kenshin, but it's on my list to watch because I did not watch the original. So I know 7 episodes are out now, so when the first season finishes or gets far enough, I'll check into that.
So I guess this next one's yours.
Yep. About Comic Cat. Now, it's basically about their attendance numbers, but I can tell you this. We've been going to conventions, and the numbers are go on. The numbers have been coming back up, so I can tell you, it's been interesting. But those of you who are listening, Ari stepped away, so I just wanted to turn off his camera real quick, so give him some extra practice. So, anywho, up, and I'll tell you what's going on with Comic Cat.
I appreciate the gesture, but no big deal.
I know, but still, it's like even when I'm going right to the fridge, I cover up and go about my way. Because nobody sees, no one needs to see my body sauntering back. No one needs to see that.
Yeah, I'm a disaster in motion too. I know. Anyway, as you were saying,
we're talking about Comic Cat here. Comic Cat 102 records over the weekend 260,000 people. That's 10 times the amount of people I can.
Pretty good numbers.
Oh, the last weekend held the Summer 23 outing of Comic Market, better known as Comic Cat, the biggest doujin event in the world. Now in this 102nd iteration, the event once again opened up tickets for sale on a day for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic, alongside advanced ticket sales, racking up 130,000 attendees over each of the 2 days for a total of 260,000 people.
You can see a Twitter inline of, like, a Twitter cut in of a picture taken, an aerial view of the what can I assume is like a dealer's room.
That's the dealer's hall of everybody selling their dojins. Now,
Oh yeah, it's packed from a pillar to post.
there are some areas that are kind of spread out, which is not so bad. I don't mind that, but still. But as it says, this is the highest number of attendees since Comic-Con 97 in 2019, which saw 750,000 attendees. And an increase of 80,000 people from Comic-Con 101 that had 180,000 people walk through the doors of Tokyo Big Sight. Comic-Con 102 also lifted the attendance cap for the first time since the pandemic began, with entry restrictions significantly reduced, such as mask wearing. And there you go. Next up is Comic-Con happening December 30th and 31st, 2023. And as I've said to you, as I've said to everyone, I am going to Japan in December, but I will be home when that happens. If I wasn't going to be home, I still would not go because that's way too many people. If anything, I would go and be outside and take, because there will be cosplayers. I'd take pictures of the cosplayers. So we're down to our last story. Ari's going to take that. It's something. This is regarding to a terrible event that's going on in Hawaii right now, but TPCI is helping with something. I think it's really awesome of them.
So, following the aftermath of wildfires which all but destroyed the culturally significant city of Lahaina on the Hawaiian island of Maui, the Pokemon Company formally announced on Monday they'll be making a one-time donation of $200,000 to its existing charity partnership with the Global Giving Charity and directing funds to its Hawaii Wildfire Relief Fund. In addition, it will also match employee donations dedicated to Hawaii wildfire relief efforts. The donation was first announced on Sunday during the final day of the 2023 Pokemon World's Championship, remember that from earlier, held in Yokohama, Japan, and it was followed by the announcement that the 2024 edition of the championship is slated to be held in Honolulu, Hawaii, on the island of Oahu. The original announcement, made by Colin Palmer, Vice President of Premier Events at the Pokemon Company, is as follows. Our hearts go out to all those who have been impacted by the devastating wildfires in Hawaii. Our priority is to aid children, families, and their affected communities. To support relief efforts, the Pokemon Company International is making an immediate donation of $200,000 to its partners at Global Giving through their Hawaiian Wildlife Relief Fund. So yeah, good for them on putting out money for it.
That is really awesome. I'm actually on here. I'm just trying to see.
You have any friends in Hawaii, by the way?
Actually, not anymore. My old manager at Microsoft lived in Hawaii, but after he got laid off, he packed up his family and they're back in California.
Yeah, I have one friend out there from her days of shit posting on fighting game community message boards.
SRK or Fighters Net?
Both. And then higher voltage as well. But
oh yeah, I felt like I got Herv.
Yeah. But yeah, he's okay, thankfully.
And I just posted in our chat room here a link that you can click on to help donate. If you want to help donate to the same organization that the Pokemon Company International has, it is globalgiving.org/projects/Hawaii-wildfire-relief-fund. Should have been all one word, but
as long as the money gets out there and helps people in need, who cares?
True. And now we got that out the way. We're at the part of the show that y'all like to stick around for anyway. Meanwhile, in Japan, save one story for next week.
Okay, we can save the first one, I think, because the other two are more ridiculous, I think.
Either or, which one do you want to do?
I'll take the second one.
Okay. I'm curious about the whole heat stroke thing. I'm gonna take that one. Last one is
Okay.
something from Mako anyway, so it's a
Yeah, that seems more up her alley.
yeah, this is a bit of a take on irony. It seems that Japanese TV issued a heat stroke alert. It says to avoid exercise, but they're showing a high school basketball game.
Ah,
Japanese
so I see high school sports is a shithole in Japan as well.
Heyo. Japanese television programming love putting all sorts of text and graphics on screen. It's something sports broadcasters have always been especially fond of, and ever since long before overseas broadcasts adopted the practice. Baseball on TV in Japan resembled a video game with a constant display of the score, inning, pitch count, and base runner stats. That is kind of cool. So when this year's Summer Koishin National High School Baseball Tournament opened last Sunday, people tuning in to watch it on TV naturally expected to see lots of tele-ops, as Japan calls the on-screen overlays. But things took a surreal turn as one specific type of overlay kept showing up. Japan is currently in the middle of a severe heat wave. The temperature in Nishiyama, Hyogo Prefecture, where the Koishin tournament takes place, hit a daytime level of 38 degrees Celsius, which is 100.4 degrees Fahrenheit on that. And no,
Yeah, that's pretty harsh.
Yep. And no, this wasn't a dry heat like most of Japan. Hyogo is most hot and humid during the summer. So throughout the game, viewers are overlaid notifying them of a heat stroke caution.
Yeah, okay. The chyrons all over the screen in the Japanese, it doesn't seem all that different from how we would see it in English. But the QR code in the corner, yeah, that I have an issue with.
I
It
guess
just seems more out of place than anything else.
if it was more in the lower corner, then it wouldn't be so bad.
No, no, no. Like, no one's scanning a QR code when they're watching a sporting event.
Some might be, you never know. Things got even more surreal when national broadcaster NHK put up an overlay saying, in principle, let's suspend and postpone outside exercise as the two teams of teams continue to play. And its coverage of the opening game between Ibaraki Prefecture's Tsushiro Nihon University High School and Nagano's Prefecture Ueda Nishi High School, NHK put up different overlays for different parts of the country. Hyogo, it went beyond the heat stroke caution to heat stroke caution alert. The warnings also included the unsettling thought wise of, in case of severe symptoms such as loss of consciousness, call an ambulance. With this summer being especially hot, the tournament has introduced a 10-minute cooling time period after the game's fifth inning, which is the halfway point. The team's benches also have cooling fans installed behind them, and ice vests and neck coolers are also available. None of that has much effect when players are playing the game, though. After the end of the sixth inning, when Nihon University High School had been fielding, one of the team's players collapsed and had to be carried off in a stretcher. The team's coach later said that the boy had fallen because of a leg or foot cramp, a condition
I'll
that
bet he did.
can be triggered or intensified due to dehydration. Coach said the boy's body temperature at the time was measured at around 45 degrees Celsius, 113 degrees Celsius Fahrenheit.
You know, it's shit like this that kind of put me in the hospital, not last summer, but the summer before that.
It reminds me of my times in boot camp, and they would tell us to always hydrate. There were some recruits that didn't hydrate and had to be dragged off in a stretcher. They were basically thrown into a giant metal bucket of ice water.
Oh yeah, like the whirlpools, like that they put us in when to get rid of calves, the lower leg strains and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then they would check your temperature, but not by putting the thermometer under your tongue.
Oh, I can only imagine where the thermometer is being sticked.
There's only one other place. Self-sacrifice.
Okay, so shall I take the next one?
Let me finish this up because this is actually a pretty long story.
Okay, my apologies.
You good. Self-sacrifice and playing through the pain are big parts of Japan's sports ethos, especially for youth sports and especially for baseball. So the during juxtaposition being told it's too dangerously hot to exercise outside, at the same time as watching these kids competing in the midday sun is prompting reactions such as this makes qualify as abuse. Still have a baseball under a storm warning, so why would you under a heat stroke alert? With representatives of teams from all over Japan's 47 prefectures gathering for the tournament, families, faculties, and classmates also. One could argue that the Koshien logistically can be held during the summer vacation period. What could be done though is at least play some of the games at night. This year's tournament, the earliest game starts at 8 a.m. and no game has starting later than 3:45 p.m. It's still blistering hot at 3:45 in the afternoon though. And shifting some games back a few hours, say one starting at dusk and another completely after sundown, will go a long way in preventing heat stroke. Such a shift wouldn't be without difficulties though. All of the Koshien games are played on the same field, which means they have to be played one at a time. Koshien Stadium being such a hollow ground, coaches, fans, and players would likely react very negatively to have their games moved. 4 games a day being played in the tournament's early rounds, roughly 2.5 hours allotted for each, trying to fit them all in after sunset, while expanding the number of total days in the tournament. It's done for 2 reasons. First, many family members and students travel with the team, and a longer tournament means they'd have to spend more on a hotel and other travel expenses. Koshien Stadium is ordinarily the home of the Hanshin Tigers professional baseball team. Tigers vacate the stadium during the tournament, playing games either on the road or at alternate quasi-home stadiums, such as Kyocera Dome, Osaka. Families needing to make a longer hotel reservations for a longer tournament. If the Tigers were to extend their summer stay at the Kyocera Dome, Osaka, additional fees for the team would be in. None of those scheduling concerns would be an obstacle, though. Scheduling the tournament's later round games, which are fewer played each day, or a championship game to after sundown. Still, the issue of night games themselves being more expensive, since lighting up a professional grade stadium, which Koshien isn't cheap. All these potential problems seem like they could be worked out, though. While the Koshien tournament is an amateur sports competition and NHK a public broadcaster, the broadcasts draw huge and comparably sized sponsorships from companies with value in having their names seen by the combined millions of people at the stadium and watching at home. The tournament itself is regularly presented as a showcase of exemplary determination and perseverance by the young players, so it doesn't seem unreasonable to expect the adults who organize it to work a little harder, making it safer and better for the kids on the field. Why don't you just convert it to an indoor stadium and call it a day?
Also, I was like, wait, like 2.5 hours a game? And I just looked it up because I had to see for myself. Japanese baseball doesn't have the pitch clock yet.
No.
And there's no real plans for it.
Because you know what it is? I think the way they play baseball, there's no need for them to have a pitch clock.
Agree to disagree on it. Some of the games have gotten a lot more exciting now that with the pitch clock being enacted this year.
At least games aren't going like 3 and 4 hours now.
Yeah, that's part of why games are being shorter.
So aren't like normal games with the pitch clock? Are the games around like 2 hours now?
2.5 hours thereabouts, 2.5 to 3.
So let's say
that's pulling back a lot. Less time out in the heat and whatnot.
Let's say with the pitch clock, MLB games are 2.5. And without the pitch clock, the games are about the same. If they
3.5 to 4 hours without the pitch clock. That's what I remember.
I mean, in Japan.
Oh.
In Japan, if they had a pitch clock, maybe the games would drop by a half hour. Remember, it's all about efficiency. It's showboating.
Yeah, you think they'd be all about that efficiency and whatnot. But, we're getting sidetracked and whatnot.
Yep.
All I'll say on the deal is I played at a time where concussions were treated about as seriously as a stubbed toe
Mm.
So yeah, so yeah, I'm I know all about downplaying things like heat stroke and concussions and stuff like that.
Right.
And this was in high school, so it seems even more pointless. But again, I don't want to get sidetracked with stuff like that. Too many bad memories from that time in my
All right.
life.
Moving right along.
Yeah.
Ari, what's going on with this story about a stolen Kingdom Hearts figure?
When you walk away. Well, it wasn't walking away; it got taken away. Last Saturday morning, the Hyogo Prefectural Police received a call from a 31-year-old man living in Himeji who said, "My figure is gone." Though otaku-oriented figures can have impressive levels of detail, and there's a link to another article about that, they aren't capable of wandering off on their own. Again, Japan is kind of falling behind on that. The man didn't just share his home with the figure, but also his 41-year-old live-in girlfriend, a former co-worker, and after looking into the matter, the police determined she was the culprit and arrested her on charges of theft. Upon hearing this, you might be imagining the scenario along these lines. A boyfriend who's a hardcore otaku keeps a figure of his 2D anime girl crush on his shelf. His girlfriend eventually grows tired of his obsession with the character, and in a desperate bid to get him to pay more attention to the real-life romantic relationship, tosses the figure in the trash while he's out. But in the case of the man who called the police, that figure that his girlfriend stole wasn't of a ridiculously busty young maiden posing provocatively in a skimpy outfit. While police statements about such thefts go into no greater details than item from a popular anime series, this was Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Uh,
The theft wasn't prompted by feelings of resentment or jealousy. The woman, who is currently unemployed, what a shocker, told the police that she sold the figure to use the money for living expenses. The specific Japanese term was seikatsuhi, which translates as lifestyle expenses, and like the word itself is ambiguous and it could mean anything.
I would say it translates to not expenses not relating to bills and utilities.
That too. And Twitter reactions have been along the lines of, "If it was me, I'd end the relationship immediately." As a Kingdom Hearts fan, it makes me sad. So the figure wasn't of a pretty girl. I didn't even know they made Kingdom Hearts figures. Way to keep your priorities in check. Can you even get that much money for a Kingdom Hearts figure? Still wrong to betray someone's trust and steal their things, though. So, yeah, apparently the figure only went for about 4,000 yen. That's about $29 US. So, goddamn, that guy got short sold.
I mean, I look at it this way: it's not the fact that stole the. It's more like the principle behind it. I mean,
Hmm.
when you're obsessing over your figure more than your live-in girlfriend, you need. But she got so upset.
Priorities got to be in
Yeah,
check.
she got so upset. Stole or tossed. My partner. If she were to ever go into my cabinet and grab a figure to throw out, I don't know if I would leave the relate. I would just have a lot of distrust in her.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is my stuff, and I'm like,
It doesn't matter if you're like stealing it to sell it to pay for bills. You're still stealing my shit.
yeah. If let me know what I can do. I'm still paying more attention to you than the figures. I mean,
Yeah.
if I was really obsessed with the figurines that I purchased, I would tell you this right now. I probably wouldn't have my top shelf. Probably would not be my quote unquote Sailor Venus shrine. Second shelf wouldn't be my quote unquote idol shrine. On the regular, I would be taking figures out, boxing them, and putting new ones in rotation.
I mean, it's not like, well, I guess the article doesn't go into detail about
No, it
that. But
doesn't. No.
it's not like he was asking her to dress like asking his woman to dress up as the character.
I mean, but that's neither here nor there.
And I can tell you that does not. I know it doesn't get my motor running. I don't know about anyone else.
I've gone to enough conventions. You already know my answer. I am currently closing all these out. And by closing out, I'm talking about all of these extra windows I have running in the background for stuff. So I think it's time for us to go ahead and wrap up the show. But before we go, Bonzo06 says, now to ask your other to cosplay for Hanky Panky, that's a different topic for another show. Which is true. But I think we may have also covered that here. Maybe
that's
once
what
or
I'm
twice.
saying. I'm not into.
I think
And it's something I figured out about myself the hard way. And I just realized I made a really bad pun there. I am so sorry.
It's okay. It's tired. You're ready to go to bed. We're at the end of the show. We're going to wrap up the show. So if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. They in turn will tell another friend and so forth. We won't judge. So if you have any questions about the show, drop us a line at podcast@animejamsession.com. Again, that is podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. And this is also a judge-free unless you're Mako-chan, then you gotta be careful what you say around that bitch. Anywho, check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you will find our weekly podcast, cosplayer interviews, cosplay tips and tricks, links to our YouTube page of convention coverage, links to our Facebook page of cosplay coverage, anime reviews, editorials, and a whole lot more at animejamsession.com. And don't forget to check out our podcast. It is available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, anywhere where you can pick up podcasts. Just search Anime Jam Session. And what's cool is some of these apps allow you to have the option to leave a review. So if you could, drop us a review. We'd really appreciate that. Follow us on our social media, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. It's Anime Jam Session. Follow us and also you know when we're going live. When articles is going up, videos, photos are available for you to check out, all that and then some. Those of you who follow us on our social media, thank you so much. We couldn't do this without you. We appreciate the love. And if you're watching live, there are links to our stream elements, our stream labs, and our Ko-Fi if you want to throw us a few dollars to keep things going. We appreciate that. If you have bits, cheer us on with bits. We really appreciate that. Want to tell a friend about us? Give them a gift sub to our channel. Give yourself a gift sub to the channel. We really appreciate everything that you give us. We truly. Now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Ari.
I got nothing else. I'm just tired. I want to go to bed.
I had last words, but I can't remember what they were. So anyway, well, this is it. End of list. We're gonna get up on out of here. So we'll be back next week with a brand new episode. Mako will be back. We'll see how Damien's doing. We're all gonna have a little bit of fun in here. So, Ranma.
And I'm Ari.
Great fight, great night. See you next week.
Good night, everybody.
Say goodnight, Ari.
Good night, Ari.
And I'll say it too. Good night, Ranma. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!